Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast. We have with us today our special guest, Coach Nuru Allen of St. Charles West High School. We're going to get to him just a moment. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball, some updates. Guys are doing good, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I want to first say YBMcast, I'll spit it out here in a minute. That's what happens just when you go live, man. It all just blows up in your face. Hey, YBMcast is powered by Game 7 Baseball. It's just true. Game7baseball.com if you're looking for a great tournament. Get yourself into a Game 7 tournament. They got Cinco de Mayo coming up this weekend, right? Big one, Cinco de Mayo coming up. If you haven't got into a tournament, I don't know if you could or right now, but it'll be fun. There's a lot of great teams. Tennessee, Illinois, Southern Missouri, St. Louis metro area, great stuff going on. Dave and Dave, big shout out to you guys. Hey, look, if you're looking to get into a league this summer, they've got the G7 League over at Grand Slam Ballpark. I think that starts in June. I'm pretty sure, but you can go to the website, check that out. Get yourself into a league if you want to just get an extra few games here and there. Great stuff. If you got a local team and you're looking for a league to play in, right there it is, guys. Game7baseball.com, doing it right. Thanks to Dave and Dave. All right, let's get after it. Coach?
Yes, sir.
Man, your season, when we talked in the preseason, you were like most everybody else, not quite sure what we have, but hey, you got a nice season going on so far.
Yeah, we've done well. I've been, I shouldn't say pleasantly surprised, but I've liked where our team is going. We still got a ways to go. We still need to get better in a lot of aspects, but I like how hard we work and we compete, and besides last game that we faced Timberland, that was but that was good for our guys. It was good to see, an upper echelon team come into our ballpark and kind of show how you really play the game. And they went with a business-like approach. And you know what? We couldn't meet up with what they were bringing. So, it was more, we talked it up to a learning experience to kind of prepare us for our last conference game and districts and whatnot. So I like where we're going. I like where we're at right now. And
I think you kind of caught Timberland coming off a pretty tough loss to Holt too. They got beat up pretty bad with Holt. So
okay. I think we got them on the right track. Okay, if anything was ailing them, if their pitching was struggling, we helped them out. If their hitting was struggling, we kind of helped them out. So yeah, I mean they were ready. They were ready to go, and that's credit to the coach over there that they can have a tough loss to probably a rival.
Yeah,
and for them to come back and to be ready to go against us, I mean, that's a credit to them. And that's what we were trying to strive for. And I think a lot of time, and we got a test on Tuesday with our kids to see how we bounce back. You know? And I would love for us to be able to bounce back. We had a one loss against Zumwalt East, and I kind of test our guys, how are we going to bounce back? How are we going to learn from this loss? And we proceeded to win, I think, 4, 5, 6 in a row. And so this will be a good test for us coming up.
So let's talk a little bit here. We'll go right into districts here because we weren't able to talk districts when we first spoke about it because as it was, everything came out after the season got going. You're in District 5 with Bowling Green, Orchard Farm. You've got St. Dominic and Winfield. Let's talk about a few of these teams. Bowling Green, not sure what you got there, right?
Right. I haven't seen much. I know a couple teams in our areas played them, and it played them kind of tight and stuff. So I mean, that kind of gives us a gauge, but you never know. I like to put eyes on the team to kind of get a gauge of what they're going to offer during districts.
And so then Orchard Farm, of course, you're very familiar with, right? Been in the round, and they're in the GAC North. So what do you expect out of Orchard Farm?
Well, they're going to be gritty. I mean, when we faced them early in the year, we did good things against them, and we beat them. We swept the 2-game series against them. But ever since that, we played them, I've looked in the box score and kind of checked them out, and they've been battling. I mean, they're Coach Kendall over there has them playing well. And I know they're a young team and everything else, and I know the record might not reflect it.
Right.
But the things that I saw them play against High, and they had a dogfight against High. It was like a football game, 18-16, and and I think another team, Warrenton, they battled for 2 games. So just because their record is what it is, they're a team that they got to have your attention. They always do.
So, as far as districts are concerned, as you're finishing out with Winfield, but I mean, it's really going to come down to St. Dominic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, St. Dominic is probably the class of that district. The schedule they played, the teams that they beat, the teams that they competed. I would love for us to be up there with them, but I'm realist. The coach over there has them ready to go all the time, and we've got to be ready to show up and play. I think we face St. Dominic next Tuesday or something like that, and that's going to be a big game when it comes down to district seeding time.
Exactly.
And so because I would put St. Dominic is number 1 in our district, just on their sheer name, but
yeah.
Who have they faced and stuff like that. I mean, it's hard to go against them.
You played some really good baseball. Like you said, you lost to East 5-4. East is having a really good year. Mm-hmm. They kind of fell flat a little bit last week against South, but they bounced back with a couple of good wins over the weekend. They're 13-4. They're looking really good. You lost that game 5-4, but as you said, you bounced back and won 6 in a row after that, and a big win against Lutheran St. Charles and all that too, right?
Yes, it was. That loss to Zumaldi's was tough, just because how we lost and everything. That put a bad taste in our kids' mouth. And I didn't necessarily have to say much. I just told them we need to learn from our losses. We can't have a loss that where we lose and we don't learn from it. And I really think that loss was kind of a say, hey, we need to, maybe we need to tweak a little things if it's with our preparation or whatever. And they came out and they responded. We had 6 games in a row, and we did what we thought we should have been able to do. And going into that Lutheran St. Charles game, we treated that almost like a, hey, how this is going to be like a preparation for districts. How are we going to do against these guys? Because these guys can swing the bat. They beat us pretty good last year.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. And we came out there. We gave up 2 runs in the first, and that was it. And it was great to have our pitchers come out. Rico came out, had 2 walks, but then after that, he shut them down pretty good. Then Josh came in and he looked great, and then we had Middendorf come in and he looked great. So that was a great test for our guys, and it just showed our guys that hey, we can compete with schools when we want to.
It's nice to have those barometer games, isn't it?
Yes,
it really is. I think it does well for the kids. And I know it's tough sometimes on the losing side of that, and trying to learn from those barometer games. But when you get that win on that barometer game, that really makes an impact, doesn't it?
No, absolutely, absolutely. It gives you all the confidence in the world. You think you can go out there and take on the world, and that's what it was. After we got that win, you could just see something click in our guys, and they were ready, all the way up until Timberland, and then like I said, we got faced with Timberland. We got hit with a little bit of humility, and that's not a bad thing.
No,
we can get that.
And that's and not to. There's nothing against it. It just you jump 2 classes there to play Timberland, and it is a big difference, and that's just the nature of it. That's why they have classes, right?
Absolutely,
that's right. So let's talk a little bit about. Some of the kids, before we get into, we got some stuff coming up. We're working towards that.
Okay.
Want to look at a little bit. You got some kids swinging it, man. You've got right at the top, 23 plate appearances. Darius DeCarlos. DeCarlos. 412. He's 1,000 OPS. better than 1,000 OPS. You know, a double, triple, 6 RBIs. That's great. You got kid right behind him, 391. You got some kids. This one, Josh Newell, the kid that's pitching well for you. I mean, he's driven in 13 runs for you. I mean, you got 391, 385, 344, 333. Those kids are swinging the bat well, man.
Yeah, I mean, they really are. I mean, you know, I know Darius is leading the team in hitting right now, and he's kind of in a not necessarily a platoon situation, but he works in with a couple other guys out in the outfield, but the dimension that he brings to our team with just the speed factor, just the threat alone of him on the base just causes problems. Anytime he can put the ball on the ground, that's almost like an automatic hit because he's so quick out of the box and getting down the line. We've loved the way that he's been approaching the game and just continue to, you know, put pressure on the defense. The guy that to us has really been a kind of a standout, a pleasantly surprising standout has been Cole Grambling. I think he's hitting around like a high 300s.
Yeah, he's at 385.
Yeah, 385, and he's been, you know, our catcher. He comes in and pitches at times and everything else, but he has been kind of our, just not necessarily our leader, but kind of our heartbeat of our team. Just being in command of with the pitching staff behind the plate, and he's been coming up with key hits for us, and just been solid. And you know, to be honest, if we didn't have him at catcher or whatnot, I don't know where we would be. I think he's been that important for us, and I don't know if I could have said that at the beginning of the year. So he's been great for us. And then you said something about Josh Newell.
Yeah,
Josh Newell at one point in time was hitting, I think below 200 at the beginning of the year. And that, you know, and I had a little conversation with him. I think he was putting a lot of pressure on himself because we had a couple kids out with COVID that were one of our main guys. And I think he was thinking that he had to hit a 5-run homer every single time. And, you know, once, you know, one is, hey, just take a step back, take a deep breath, made a little adjustment in the lineup, and then those guys came back. He's taken off, and he's been looking really good at the plate. And, you know, I'm still continuing expecting great things out of him. So,
you know, when you're looking OPS across the board with a lot of these kids, man, it's 900 better. I mean, so it's not just one thing. They're getting on base, or you're doing a lot of good things, and so that to me is great. And then you got a couple of arms at the top of your rotation there that are doing very well for you.
Right.
Yeah. You got Cole Grambling. He's got he's 1-2, but his ERA, it's a little up. But you've got Josh Newell here at 1.52, a 1.52 ERA. He's 4-0. And then you got, of course, your other young man you spoke about, Ray Rico. He's got a 2.47. He's 3-0. These guys are getting it done.
Yes, they are. And we came into the season knowing that Ray and Josh will be going to be our two horses. Those are the guys, when we can play conference games, those are the two guys that are going to come out there because I know those guys are going to battle. I know what they bring to the table, what level of baseball they play in the summertime, and when they come in there, they're not intimidated. They're ready to. It doesn't matter if it's Grambling or whoever. They want to get the ball and they want to go and compete against the best, and that's what they do. And Josh and Ray has given us a chance in every single game, and you can see by the record it's paid off for us. And you mentioned Cole. Cole is once again he's that guy because we want Ray and Newell to pitch against in the conference games, of course.
Sure.
So Cole's the guy that's pitching against the Timberlands, is pitching against Windsor, and is pitching against I forgot the other team that he started against, but he's pitching against those upper echelon teams because we want to make sure to save our other guys, and he always gives us a chance to compete, and he's been doing a great job, and that's why he's been like an unsung hero with us because of what he does, catching, hitting, and what he's done on the mound. And then don't want to forget about Grant Middendorf. I know he's only got like maybe 10 innings pitched.
He's at 12.7.
12.7, and he's been our guy that we'll bring in a late game when it comes to pitch count and whatnot. And he has been lights out for us. I know he had a little hiccup against Timberland, but everybody had a little hiccup against Timberland, you know?
Yeah.
But he has done a great job throwing strikes, being low in the zone, and finding ways to get guys out. And it's been great to see. And he kind of relished that thing of, you know, hey, you need 1 or 2 innings out of me, I got that. Because he can start for us too.
Yeah, he's got a 1.26 whip. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, that's pretty good. That's solid. So I like it. And so let's talk about this now. Let's get to the big one this week. It's you and St. Charles in the conference, 5-1. Both of you guys 5-1, facing off.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I know our school district's probably real excited about this. I mean, to be honest, coming in the year, if I could say last 2 conference games playing against High, and those 2 games are going to decide who's going to win the conference, that I'd go with that every time. I got nothing but love for High just because they got me into whoops, my bad. They got me into coaching, and stuff like that. And I still got some, friends over there. Coach Bickle is doing a great job over there and stuff. And so I've always, try to check on them and see how they're doing. And I told them I would love for them to go undefeated and lose 3 games, and that's 2 against us and then 1 against us in districts. Now we don't get to see them in districts, so hopefully we can get those 2 wins against them. But it's going to be tough. They got a kid over there, Sam Meyer, that's been lights out pitching. And I know they got other kids over there with the Witterhold and Chu and some other guys that they're doing great things, either pitching or hitting the baseball. So it's not going to be easy, but this is something that, to be honest, if I had a perfect scenario, this is a scenario I wanted, to have a chance to win a conference against High. There you go.
That's all you're looking for.
That's
opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's no way, and I think baseball is one of those sports it's probably the toughest sport this way. I mean, any given day, a hit, a pitch, something's, you're just off.
Yep.
And boom, it just kills you. And it can be that team that just goes, man, we weren't supposed to lose to them. Mm-hmm. They weren't supposed to beat us. We were supposed to beat them. It's just the way it is. And then when you have 2 teams, as you guys are, I think you're pretty evenly matched. Mm-hmm. You're coming into this. You got some good arms. You got guys swinging the bats. That's all you want, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, any given day in baseball is, you don't know what team's going to show up there.
Right.
And honestly, pitching is the one thing that controls it. If you got a pitcher that's being lights out, then you have a chance to beat anybody, and I mean anybody. Now, if you have a pitcher that's struggling throwing strikes or whatnot, you can lose to anybody, And so that's what's so great about this game is the fact that you never know until that first pitch is thrown what you're going to get. What I believe we're going to get on Tuesday is that you're going to get 2 guys with Sam and Josh ready to battle, and it's going to be which team's going to blink first and stuff. And Sam is a bulldog, and he's going to want to strike out. I mean, it's 7 innings. He's going to want to strike us out 21 times. I guarantee you. And that's what I love about him. But with Josh, he's going to be the same way. And I'm just looking forward to seeing this game tomorrow and being a part of that.
I'm going to go check it out because I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think with the arms on there, you guys are doing. It's going to be a fun one. Mm-hmm. Going to be a fun one. So, that's going to be the season, really, isn't it? Moving forward, getting into districts. I mean, like I said, I think, and then, just for if you're looking at conference that way, and then we'll talk and we'll finish up. You got one more against St. Dominic that's going to put you in that district thought process.
Right.
Good luck, man.
Oh, appreciate you.
Because Dominic's not going to be an easy walk either.
No, it's not. But the thing is, though, I wouldn't want it any other way. You don't want it
easy, right?
No, not at all. Like I want to compete against, but I think, and like I told you guys earlier this year, Dominic is one of the classes. I think they're the class in our area at our level in Class 4. And if you want, like Ric Flair says, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's how I look at St. Dominic, because they're well coached. They're just they know the game, and every time we've played them, when we played them 2 years ago, I mean they were battles, and we split. And this year, I would hope to get that opportunity to play them, because I believe our district's going to go through St. Dominic, and so if we just want a chance. That's it.
Dude, you pulled out the Ric Flair. You got to give him the woo.
I can't do the woo. You can go get Coach Stahl for that. Coach Stahl can do the woo.
I mean, you got to love that. We pulled out a Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, you got a couple of, there's some really good teams at this, in the Class 4. We were looking at the rankings from PBR earlier. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this week for you. Coach, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Nuru Allen, St. Charles West High School head coach. Congrats so far in the season. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in today. We do appreciate it. Hey, if you're looking for a good ball game, Blanchette Park tomorrow.
Yep.
4:15, right?
4:15.
Go check it out. Two good arms on the mound. It's going to be a good baseball game. We need to support our high school baseball athletics. I really do. I think it's a great scene there. So remember, all you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. You hitters, hit them where they ain't. Everybody have a great day in the Lord, and we'll see you next time.